What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I'm Safety Scissors.
And I'm Duct Tape.
And there is math among us.
You did it.
I did it.
You did it.
There's a really fun game out right now that's called Among Us. And it's a game where you run around as a crewmate or an imposter. And the object is to win as one or the other. A lot of my friends are playing it. I've been playing it nonstop.
All of my students are playing it. And I'm seeing memes everywhere. Somebody's like, purple's kind of sus. And I was like, what does that mean? And then I caught on.
Purple is definitely sus, but not as much as cyan. But
wait a minute. I know the people that play those colors. Wait.
So it's a lot of fun. Throughout there's different mini games that you can play and a lot of random generated objects to it.
Yeah, and you were saying that you were watching another YouTuber who you love.
Yeah, I was watching Captain Sparkles play Among Us with a bunch of people, and they were talking about the probability of having different things, such as the parallel for the wires, or just a straight path for the weather node, and things like that.
Yeah.
So I searched far and wide, basically right next to me, and was like, hey, you know math, right?
Okay, so if we're going to get into my credentials on talking about this subject, first of all, as he was listening to this, my ears kind of perked up when I heard words like probability. I was like, wait a minute, I know that one. I don't know sus. I don't know imposter, but I'm like, wait, I know probability. I actually have a math degree, a master's in mathematics. As far as being a gamer, while my master's was in math, my undergrad was in music. You think that has nothing to do with gaming, but the fact that I almost failed every single class because I was constantly playing online games. I was a gamer. And it's apparently such a good game, and I'm like, if I touch it, I won't do anything else. I won't work on this YouTube channel. I won't do anything. So no, I'm not going to play, but I understand math. And when he asked me if I could calculate some of the probabilities, I went, sure, I wanted to spend my Sunday doing math.
And me, as a person who is terrible at algebra and math like that, but I am a non-admitting addicted gamer. You know, how you're the recovering addict.
I'm the recovering
I'm the person who
addict.
Just can't admit that he is an addict at playing games. So I was like, hey, I know the game. You know math. We should do a video.
Yeah, we make a good team that way.
Yeah.
But this isn't the fun math. This isn't algebra. This is probability. And I know so many math people that just wanted to rip the probability section out of their book. Even my dad hated teaching probability. He was like, most of it's good, but when you start getting into, and we'll talk about the really complicated problem, that was the one I wish I could have asked my dad for help with, because that's the one where it's like, it's matrix. It's a matrix question, and he literally ripped the matrix algebra pages out of the Algebra 2 textbook when he taught that class and said, you guys don't need to know this. He didn't anticipate Captain Sparkles needing to know this one day, though. So, sorry, Dad. They did need to know it if they were going to answer this question. Luckily, we'll talk about that question, but I'm hoping all my math is correct. I did it while our neighbor was mowing every inch of their lawn, so I kept getting very frustrated and distracted, so hopefully it's correct, but I triple checked it, so it should be.
So one of the first things that you are coming across when you're playing the game is, are you going to be a crewmate or are you going to be an imposter? Now, like I was telling you, there are two options really that most people play on, either one imposter or two imposters. And if you're looking at it playing a game with 8 people, 9 people, or 10 people.
Okay, so this math ended up being a lot more simple than I tried to make it. I tried to do like, well, what are the odds of 2 of you being the imposter? And so I started doing what are the odds of getting 2 blue in a row marbles? Because that's the example problem. But that didn't apply because you can't get yourself twice. Mm-hmm. You're trying to see if you have a chance to be the imposter. So the math here is actually kind of simple. When there's 1 imposter out of 8 people, you have a 1 in 8 chance. Easy, 12.5% chance of getting imposter. Out of 9 people, 1 out of 9, or 11.1% chance of getting imposter. Out of 10, you want to say this one? It's the easy one.
1 out of 10, I actually know this, which is 10%.
Yeah, good job.
I paid attention
Gold
once.
Star.
I'm excited.
So with 2 imposters, it kind of stays the same, but it doesn't. It depends how the computer does the algorithm. If the computer does the algorithm at the same time and picks 2 people, what are the odds? Well, still 1 out of 8, 1 out of 9, and 1 out of 10, because you're only one person. So your odds either stay the same, even though they're picking 2 people, or if they don't choose you for the first time, if they do it 1 and then 1, while there's still 8 people, you had a 12.5% chance. But once they've picked the first one, you now have a 14.3% chance of getting the imposter, because now there's only 7 people left. So when there's 8, you have 12.5 going to 14.3% chance of being the imposter once one person's been chosen. In a game of 9 people, it's 11.1% chance going to 12.5% chance should there be one person chosen before you. And then same thing, 1 out of 10, which is a 10% chance, and then goes to 11.1% chance if there's 9 people, and now you might get the second slot. So the odds stay about the same whether there's 2 or 1.
But it's just basically, it's rather being 1, you have the 12.5 or 10% chance, but then if there's 2, it's basically like playing 2 games of 1. And
you can't say, I have a 2 out of 10 chance, because they're choosing 2 imposters, but you're still only 1 person. So your odds are still 1 in 10 that they'll pick you. But the odds get better once they've picked the other person, because there are now less people to choose from. So technically you have a little bit better odds in a 2 imposter game, obviously. But if you look at the math, it's basically the same when it starts out anyway. So basically, only 1 person.
So basically you have between 10 and 15% chance of being the imposter.
Yeah, depending on how many people you're playing with. So
that's a lot better than what I'm getting. I'm getting like every 1 out of every 20 games I get imposter.
Probability does not guarantee anything. And so we are talking about probability, but this isn't every 12.5% times. No, that's...
So it's basically like an average.
Yeah.
Okay. So just because, one person gets it this many times and this other person only gets it half the time, then that would make up that, basically.
Yes.
Oh, I explained that to, someone who doesn't know.
And I started doing the math. This whole sheet had, math all over it, and then I erased it all and went, oh, my goodness, it is not this complicated. But that was me in school, too. I would do that all the time. I would take a test and then just,
Which was really cool, because I thought it was a lot lower chance, because, like I said, the averages, I don't get it.
It probably feels like it, but honestly, a 12.5% chance is kind of low. You're going to feel the lowness of that, because 12.5 every time. It's not 12.5 in total of all the times you ever play. So, at some point I will be, but it's every time you only have a 12.5% chance. That means you have an 87.5% chance every time of not getting imposter.
I'm ruling those odds.
Yeah, right? So
I'm sure everybody else is like, me too, and I never get it. The next thing that we talked about was wires. And one of the cool things that people love is getting parallels, where it's just straight across the color to color, and there's 4 options, like I explained to you, how they were lined up.
The red, the blue, the yellow, and the pink.
Yes.
Purple? Pink?
It's like a pink. It's a pink.
It's a P on my sheet. Yeah. So I was like, it's one of those.
Yeah, it's pink.
Okay. Red, blue, yellow, pink. So he said, what are the odds of getting 4 straight across? This is another one.
It's pink.
It's pinkish.
Pinkish.
It's mauve.
It's pink girl. Purple.
Sure. So this is another one that I tried to make way more complicated than it really was, and I ended up saying, the answer can't be this. And so I started doing all this stuff, and just like in school, I would do all this math, and turns out I had the answer all the way up top and didn't need to do any of that. You have a 1 in 24 chance of getting parallel, of getting it in the correct order. You have a 1 in 24 chance. That's 4.17%. 1 in 24 doesn't sound that bad. 4% sounds pretty bad. But the way that you do that math is that when he said that you can't repeat the letters, or not letters, they're letters on my sheet, but you can't repeat the colors. It's going to end up in some order. So there are only 24 different combinations that you can have, because once red is there, you only have 3 colors to choose from the second side. So you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting red. Once that's chosen, you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting blue. And then once that's chosen, you have a 1 in 2 chance of getting yellow. And then once that's chosen, you have a 1 in 2 chance of getting pink purple thing. And then, so you do 1/4 times 1/3 times 1/2 times 1, and you end up with 1 out of 24. 4.17% chance you're going to get straight across.
Nice.
All that for 1 in 24.
Now, would that kind of go with any, like if you wanted to get like...
That'll work for
cross?
any combination.
Okay.
You have a 1 in 24 chance of getting any combination at all. If you want X's, you have a 1 in 24 chance of getting that.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah. I was
there's
like...
one
I was
possibility
wondering.
out of 24 combinations. So the hardest part is figuring out how many combinations there are. The easy part is going, there's only one thing I'm looking for. So, yeah.
The next one is when we started getting into the I have no clue what's going on math. Wait, that was probably the beginning one.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's familiar with the manifolds, where you have to go in and you have to be, as Captain Sparkle says, the king of counting, where you have to click them in order of the 1 to 10. Now, it gives 2 rows of 5. So, basically, it could be like 3, 9, 4, 6. So, what are the odds of getting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the second row, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? So, in just complete order.
So, actually, after hours, it felt like hours, but it probably just minutes of diving into it and going, this has to be super complicated. It uses the same equation as the last thing that we just did. You have one combination of 10 numbers that you want to get. You want to get 1 through 10 in order, correct? And you can't use a number twice, correct?
That's correct.
You have one possibility. So all you need to figure out is how many different combinations there are of those numbers. So you do the same thing. To get that first spot, there's 10 options and you want one number, the number 1. Once that's already there, the next spot, there's only 9 options. Next spot, only 8 options. However, this becomes terrible. This becomes absolutely terrible. Your odds of getting 1 through 10 in order are 1 over 3,628,800. Or 0.0000276%. Those are the odds, folks.
That's...
Terrible.
Yeah.
That's your odds of getting 1 through 10 in order.
If you get that, go play the lottery that day.
Right?
Because you're
No, the odds of
obviously-
winning the lottery are, well, the odds of winning like the pick 5 or whatever, or pick 4, I don't know what those are called. Those are about the same. So if you win that, go play those lotteries. The actual lottery, because there's way more number possibilities. There's like 30s and stuff. The actual lottery is like 1 in 300 million. So yeah, you just use that.
That's crazy. Like, I was like, oh, it can't be that hard. And she's like, 0.0000276%. What?
Yeah.
That's like...
And I can write the equations down in the description if you want to know how I did any of the math. So I'll put that down there. But
And then the next node that we talked about was the...
oh, the easy
weather
one.
node.
Okay, I was like, are we about to talk about the one where I have to apologize for not doing my job?
The next one is the first part of the weather node, where you have to go and click one of the 6 options. And I wanted to know, what are the odds of getting the MLG node? Because
You could have figured that out. I said, so it shows up and it has a pre-selected lit up thing, right? How many options are there?
there's 6.
How many options do you want?
1.
1 out of 6. You have a 16.67% chance.
Of it being...
Honestly, of it being the one that you want, the MLG node.
Yep.
And again, this is coming from somebody who hasn't played the game but understands the math. You have a 1 in 6 chance. Also, sorry, if you hear random things, my cat has decided he wants to rip up the carpet underneath my desk, and I will have to deal with that after this video. Kid. So yeah, that one's pretty easy. You want one thing, there are 6 options. Your odds of getting that one thing out of 6 is 1 out of 6. So.
And the second part to the weather node was the one that I decided to wait till last to ask her to do. Because, as you all know, that there are the weather vanes where you have to do the random generated maze. And one of the things that people have said is, I wonder what the odds are of it being straight down and over to the end, or straight across and down to the end.
He wanted to know what was the odd of getting like one specific path, or maybe 2 specific paths out of all the options of paths. Now, being completely honest, I looked for a calculator. I looked online for a maze probability calculator, and I could not find one, because at first I looked through all of my books, and I looked online at like Khan Academy, and I was like, there has to be something on how to determine how many different probabilities or how many different options there are for different paths through a maze. That is such a complicated equation. Like, so complicated, because it also depends on how many options you have for each one. In this game, it's kind of specific, because like once you get to one place, it's not going to let you go back. So it doesn't mean that this one has 4 options. This one only actually has 3, but it depends where you come from. And it's like, dude. So what I did was I put into my calculations that there are 9 across and 3 down. How many possible paths in general are there? And I got 220. So you're looking for 1 or 2 paths out of 220, which is a 4.5. I was going to say 4%. I was like, wait, don't forget that half. 4.5% chance of getting the path that you need. Now, the honesty comes with, that math is probably not correct because I simplified it. I had to choreograph a dance and practice before rehearsal. I've got rehearsal in like an hour. I didn't have time to sit down and really do the hours and hours and hours of math it's going to take. And I'm actually going to consult some of my friends from grad school and see if they can help me with this, because this is not some of the math that I did in grad school. I didn't really go into matrix algebra as much. A little, but not like that much. So simplified, in a 9x3 maze, you have 220 possible paths. Oh, and here's the culprit. Hello.
Hi, T'Challa.
Do you want to do some math? This is T'Challa. He never shows up on camera, so you guys are getting quite a treat today.
Hi.
So you want to see some math? Nope, he went away.
He was like, no.
So yeah.
So
That's what I've got, and I will do some more research on that, and if I find the answer, we'll do a supplementary video for that. But the simplified version is 4.5% of getting the path that you want. So yeah,
that's crazy. That's so much. Like, I'm not a math person
my
like
head
that.
hurts.
Yeah,
like,
and I think it's really cool to know these odds, because it's just fun to know what are the chances of getting it. Because if you get it, then you're like, I beat the odds. Nice.
It's super cool. Like, I'm glad that I got to do this, because now I understand the game a bit better, and now I really want to play, but I shouldn't.
So
I'm too busy.
I really appreciate you exercising your mental brain for
that
me.
hurt. And I mean, I don't teach this kind of math. I'm a math teacher by trade, and actually I'm a lot of things by trade, but I'm a math teacher as part of one of my jobs. But I teach financial algebra, not matrix algebra. This is some no. I teach how to calculate your payment on a car. I teach how to figure out what you owe in taxes at the end of a year. I don't teach how to find one path out of a maze of 9 squares and 3 down. Like, no.
But I really do appreciate you figuring this out, because like I said, now I'm super excited whenever I do get like parallels, or if I ever do get the straight across path.
If you ever get 1 through 10.
If I ever get 1 through 10, I'm like, hey, I'll be back. I'm going to go play the lottery. So,
yeah.
But I do appreciate that. I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown of the odds of getting things.
Yeah, and
Imposter and everything.
We've been wanting to add a little bit more gaming content to this channel, so maybe we can do a little bit more of this kind of thing. If you guys have games that you want to find out what the odds are for anything, let us know. I'll do some more math for you, and he'll talk about games, because he gets the fun part of this arrangement.
You love math.
I don't love probability and statistics, actually. I hate it. I don't know many math people that like it, except statisticians, but yeah.
Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I hope it helped you out, and that way you know.
I really hope this helps you guys, because my head hurts.
Now you know the chances of being the imposter and how to improve your chances. So
how to improve your chances? You can't.
No.
Just play with, not even playing with more people.
Just play more.
I guess play more, yeah.
So, wait, are we encouraging them to game more?
Yes, I'm always encouraging you guys to game more. Game for those of us that can't. But yeah, what were you going to say?
I'm Safety Scissors.
And I'm Duct Tape.
And we're out of here.
Bye. Bye, T'Challa.
Yellow is looking sus.